Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to yet another replay review for yet another person by the name of MiniNinja. And when I say that, I mean the same MiniNinja that half of these replay reviews are for. Well, MiniNinja and Card, and a couple others that have a bunch. Anyway, this is from a Captain's Mode game, so this is not what we usually do. In typical fashion, we will be doing, I'll probably speed through, and we'll do it phase by phase. This is a DotP stack, Lord Day, Risen Day, I believe brother of Lord Day, and then MiniNinja, aka Smack Trick, and another person I don't know. So it's semi-DotP stack. Alright. So, we'll wait for all this first phase of bans and picks to get run through before we go into it. This will be a silencer game for MiniNinja, as you can tell from the title. So we'll see when that comes through in the draft. Okay, it comes through right now. Okay, so Silencer is actually a common counter pick to Bristleback. Bristlebacks, this is like one mini small patch ago, but Silencer is still one of the good counters to Bristleback because he can Bristleback basically if you put Curse of Silence on him, he's always going to be slowed and taking damage and all that. So Silencer is great against Bristleback. So at the very least, this is a very good duo of heroes to eliminate one of the counters to Bristleback and have that on your team. Silencer is also fairly decent against Wraith King and Venge in that when Venge swaps to initiate, Silencer can just instantly ult, and then their initiation is now gimped. Wraith King, similarly, he's very kiteable, so you can slow him a bit, which is nice. But I wouldn't say it's as much a counter to Wraith King as it is to Vengeful Spirit initiation. These bans, banning Axe is super good if you're planning on drafting Bristleback, and also Axe is just a menace to play against. Omni Knight also is just annoying to play against. I don't really have a concrete... I mean, Omni Knight is good against Silencer in that, like, if somebody is silenced or is taking damage, you can just repel them and they're going to take less. Although they still will be silenced. But, you know, they're not going to take the last word damage, let's say, or whatever. And then they're clearly planning on picking Wraith King, that's why they ban AM, and then PA, who knows. Alright. Let's just keep speeding through things. An Ursa ban, so maybe they're going to pick Timbersaw. I haven't looked at this game other than obviously downloading it, so I don't remember the bans, or the picks rather. It is funny that they don't speed up the audio from the announcer, so it just like continuously is announcing the picks and whatnot. Alright, there we go. Okay, so Juggernaut, Lich, or the Radiant. Oh, well, let's talk about bans first. Okay, so Ursa ban and a Slark ban. Ursa, you usually ban if you're picking a lot of melee cores, or if you have certain lanes that you're trying to do, like classically, like if you're picking Timbersaw, you're going to want to ban Ursa. Or if you're picking Lifesteal, you're going to want to ban Ursa, because Ursa is so strong against them in those situations where they can just full-on fight one another. He's going to come out ahead. And he also has a different tempo to a lot of other cores, where he's very like, once you have your Blink Dagger, you're just fighting, taking Roche, whatever. Slark ban, I suppose, is just like a pretty general ban. Like, Slark is good against Juggernaut, but Slark's also just a menace. Vengeful Spirit does not deal with Slark well, neither does Wraith King. Right, when you're dealing with the Slark, you want AoE disables and silences and stuff like that. And these heroes do not provide that in the least. Although Lich, Frost Armor, is somewhat nice against Slark, but really that just means he's going to steal more stats. On the Dire team, on our team, rather, the Troll Warlord Sven bans are fairly fine. I mean, like, Sven ban makes me think you guys were planning on picking PL, so that's why, you know, you ban Sven. And Troll Warlord is something of a menace. I mean, Troll Warlord Wraith King seems like a pretty mediocre, at best, team comp. So I'm not 100% on the Troll ban. I don't think he's particularly great against Bristleback either, but, you know, to each their own. Maybe he scouted something. And the PL pick's interesting. PL is generally thought of as pretty weak, but he is really good against Wraith King. Wraith King, of course, like, you steal his mana, and Wraith King's bad against multiple units. Although he does build Maelstrom and Mjolnir pretty easily. Juggernaut also is, like, okay against PL, but really, he's definitely not good against PL. So the PL was a pretty safe pick, despite how weak, in general, the hero tends to be. And Warlock's nice to have with Bristleback, because Warlock Fatal Bonds people, and then you're doing consistent damage in the AoE, so that basically just builds off of one another. Also, Warlock's just good. If this is a Warlock Silencer support duo, I'm a little like, you guys don't have stuns. You literally don't have a single stun on your team other than Warlock ult. So you really need whatever your 5th hero is to be a stunner. Like if there's a Silencer mid, then you need, like an Earth Spirit or a Earth Shaker, anything with Earth in the title. Or you need like Crystal Maiden would be weak too, because Juggernaut's just going to spin out of it. Like Bane might be interesting to counter the Juggernaut. You want something, though, that has a stun or multiple stuns. Not a Riki. Riki does not have any of those things. So right now, your core weakness as a team is that you have no stuns whatsoever, which is okay in the sense that you have a bristleback draft. So you're very, like, run at people and chase them, so you don't really need stuns so much as you need slows and sustain. So, it's passable, but it is a big core weakness where, like, if they were picking a mid here that was, like, a Tinker, you would just never kill the Tinker. Or, like, an Ember Spirit. Like, it would just be miserable. Razor pick's interesting, because Razor Link does go through PL's Doppelganger. And he's okay against the Riki harass in mid lane. But, yeah, if I had to equal these out, I would say I do prefer Dire Draft because it is very, like, as much as I complain about it not having stun, it is very well oriented in that it has a clear purpose of just like, all right, we're going to run at you over and over and over again. You guys have great potential to aggro with like Bristleback Silencer Warlock and then like a safe lane PL. Or no, maybe not aggro. Like you do dual lanes. Like Bristleback Warlock and then Riki Silencer and like farm the Silencer from the Riki. Oh, I don't know. I mean, Silencer's mid, right? I don't know. We'll see. But I do like the very safe and secure Radiant Draft. Although, like, it doesn't have a lot of direct synergy. Like, they just have a bunch of good heroes, but they don't do great together. Why is this not going? There we go. So yeah, we'll see. I think I like the Dire Draft. The classic thing is, like, if this is like a mid 2K, high 2K, Jesus Christ, a mid 2K, high 2K game, the run at you strat is very strong. Like, I'm a firm believer in the, like, hey, just run at him. Okay, so now we'll focus on Silencer, because this is his replay review after all. Okay. So this is a core Silencer, obviously. He's opted for a start that is Tango, Clarity, and a Salve, and then most of a Null. Normally we see Null plus 1. Like, we see, like, Null plus a Tango, or Null 2-pool, and we obviously haven't done this game. I think you could have asked for pooled Tangos. This is clearly a 5-stack. And then had, Clarity, Null, 2 Tangos, and, like, 2 branches. That's a little nitpicky, I guess. I do like the Clarity, just so that you can sustain your Arcane Curse harass. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so you're buying the Null recipe right ASAP. You could have bought... No, you couldn't have. Okay. Like, you could have... Nah, never mind. That's dumb. Okay. Anyway, so this opening's fine. I like respect the sustained harass that you can provide if you have Clarity and then Arcane Curse. It's incredibly annoying to play against. But it is like, the Null makes all the difference in the world. But yeah, again, that's like super minor. I honestly have not played a Razor versus Silencer matchup. So so it will be interesting. I mean, I assume the Silencer just wins through virtue of just spamming him out. Like Razor, you commonly pick up against melee heroes. This ward is going to be very inconvenient for you. So right now, you're going to want to A-click this guy. You have vision thanks to the Lifestealer. Ooh, wow, you just barely dodged that one. And then you can push up. Yeah, we're being a little slow on our CS. Again, like, we're missing CS just because we're not manipulating the creep aggro, so he has the upper hand. Alright, you got that deny, though. That's good. But we are just a little bit off-kilter. All these creeps will be coming to us, which is nice. But, yeah, now he's able to trade with you because you are not harassing with him, and he has that level advantage. You have got nice denies on range creeps, though. But yeah, with 59 damage, you have to be... Ooh, that's... Yikes. With 59 damage, you do have to be very careful about the CS battle. Because, like, you have 59, he has 57. you don't have an advantage. I've seen a lot of people. I mean, if you're playing support silencer, for instance, a lot of times people do just pick up glaives instantly and they just walk at people. You guys should be able to kill him right here. Once he comes back up, just run at him now. Okay? Yeah, go for it. Oh man, he's fast. Yeah, he has aura by this point. Yikes. He does only have tangos though, so he'll be out of lane for a little bit. You missed a couple creeps, but you almost got a kill, right? So that's you know the cost of doing battle. We are like again, we talk about this a lot, but this is unnecessary movement. Like you don't need to be moving here, right? Like you're just jeopardizing your own ability to get last hits. And those are like the really little things that do make the difference in mid matchups. Is just you know if you're CSing right here, right? You're uncontested, but you know you're still not still not perfect CS, and moving around too much is a very common impulse, but it is dangerous. You should deny this ASAP. See, like you didn't need to make that movement. You know, like you missed the entire animation there because you just stepped to the left, you know, 25 units. And again, like it is minor, but it's major in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Now we have an opponent back in lane, so let's see how this goes. So if I was playing mid silencer, ooh yikes. My bag is generally like just to get a Midas fast. He's like one of the best Midas heroes in the game because like he really needs levels, but he also really uses the attack speed. It's perfect. Ooh, oh close. I think you could have got that if you didn't move a little bit. Again, like it sounds like a bit much, but it really does make all the difference in the world if you don't make movements like that. You're not going in for bottle, which makes sense. Ooh, yeah. It's important. It's important in a lot of mid matchups. Like Lina is probably the best example, just to know what your strength. I mean, you know how to word this. It's important to know. All right. If he attacks me, he's going to do less damage to me, and if I attack him, I'm going to do more damage to him. And know, all right, when can I trade and when can I not trade? When is it too dangerous? When am I able to? Stuff like that. Because, like, in this matchup, you need to be very careful about, like, all right, I can trade if I have the high ground advantage and he's on low ground. I can't trade if he's rushing me on high ground. That kind of little mental math. There's a slight advantage on the Radiant team overall. Razor does have his DD rune. Yikes. Alright. Oh no, you're fine. So nobody's getting much CS, honestly. Oh, they have that now. But you are kind of like Razor is getting quite a bit more than you, just out of the virtue of, you know, I think you are overestimating your damage, and again, your movements made you miss a couple CS, but it is relatively close. Like, the concerning thing is that, like, you guys don't have a CS advantage when he had to be out of lane for so long. That's, like, the kind of foundational thing. Oh, anyway, talking about range creeps, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. You have to know what spells at what levels are going to kill a range creep and what are not. So, like Lina, Dragon Slave levels 1, 2, and 3 don't kill the range creep. Same thing with OD's Astral Imprisonment. So you have to know if you're either playing the hero that has one of those spells, or if you're playing against them. Okay, if I'm playing OD and I have level 3 Astral, I need to prime the range creep by hitting it once, and then using Astral, and then, you know, it'll die. Otherwise, if the enemy team knows, like, alright, it's level 3 Astral, it's not going to kill it, it's going to bring it down to 1 hit, then you have to internally say, alright, he astraled, therefore I need to be prepared to deny this range creep ASAP, like immediately, right away. And though that like little bit really does make all the difference in the world, because you know if you're playing into Lina and she's not good and she's making that mistake, you can deny literally every single range creep after she's level 5, because she'll consistently make that mistake, and that's just free mana. I mean, free XP for you. Alright, let's speed up a little bit. Oops, that's slowed down. Okay, so we're just CSing for now. Like, we are... Let's see. We are a bit behind Razor still. And we do have good denies. But, yeah. There's really just, you know, if Razor's gone, we want to be getting everything, right? Oh, yikes. Alright. Are you gonna die here? Maybe not. Oh, yeah. I think you were gonna die regardless. Oh, maybe he'll die. Nice, alright. So you got something out of it. Unfortunately, you died first. I think, like, that was just honestly, like, a really hard fight to live through. Like, you guys both have boots, you got ganked, Venge stunned you, so it was a very, you know, hard gank to survive. So at least you got something out of it. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that little interaction. It is too bad that Ricky wasn't available to get the CS and XP that you were missing while being dead. That's kind of the thing we talk about a lot on Theory Crafting Thursday, is just, if your mid laner dies, somebody should be there to reap the rewards of the lane, right? Boy, that harass is really killing you. And Bristleback's doing well. I have a Magic Wand now. Magic Wand, like, is obviously like a very good item. Against Razor, it is a little like not as great against Razor, since you won't be getting charges just because he does it from so far away. I think you should be using Glaives to get CS, because right now, like, you don't deal enough damage to, like, let's see. You don't deal a ton of damage, right? So you want to be safe when you're going to get these hits, and adding the extra, you know, 14 damage or whatever it is from Glaives is going to make that difference in a lot of cases. And you've missed a bunch of CS just barely. See, again, you're moving around too much. You just need to stand still and get the creeps. Like on this range creep, right? Again, you were moving for no reason here. I really just want to hammer this in. That, like, the excess movement is missing you CS. See? Again. And, like, these are going to die no matter what. So you don't need to, like, rush for it. Like, you missed a range creep for that, which is, you know, 40 gold, which means you would have had, you know, your boots that much faster, or your treads that much faster. Right now, if you go uphill, you're not going to be missing anything. You know that these guys are ganking bottom, so you can push pretty aggressively into the lane. Personally, I don't like spamming waves with abilities like Curse of Silent, because it does make it harder to last hit. In a way that, you know, obviously the creeps are dying faster, right? But you have to be now concerned with, like, alright, is it going to tick next? Is it not going to tick next? You know, these little things that make you miss, you know, a CS there, a CS here and there. Ooh, are you going to live? You should be fine. Ooh, that was dangerous. Wow, that was the longest hit I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. Again, you really didn't need to do that. I think that's probably the thing I'd focus more in on, is that, like, you didn't need to throw a last word on him. But still, that was kind of ridiculous. Like, he should not have been able to hit you. Okay. Yeah, his ores. Oh, God, man, Razor's so annoying to play against. Oh, day. So, one of the fundamentals of Silencer mid and why he's so strong is that, A, you have the advantage because of glaive damage, but B, you can just consistently harass somebody so much, even without a bottle. Some people might go bottle, just to increase your ability to harass. But the problem with any of these harass-based mids, like even Lina probably falls into this category, is that if you're based around dominating the lane by harassing, once you're harassed, like whenever the enemy team is not harassed, or if you're being out harassed, like the Razor's out harassing you, you are at the back foot, right? Because the way you win a lane is by playing aggressively and by, you know, harassing them down and having them low all the time so they can't do things, and it makes it easy to rotate on them. But if you have that capability but are not able to execute it because, you know, they've taken advantage, or just you make misplays, or they get good runes, you know, whatever the reason, you need to really, you're really playing on the back foot from that point, because, like, even though both of you are at full health, let's say, they should be at low health and you should still be at full health, right? So the differential is not where it should be. I'm sure I misused the word differential, but we'll just have to live with it. Anyway, so Silencer, you have nice cosmetics on Silencer. I like this set a lot. It's very subdued in a cool way. My Silencer is not subdued. I'm actually quite proud of my Silencer build. My Silencer cosmetics. A lot of particle effects. I really like this shield. And the Immortal. Anyway, the Immortal also fits very well with this set, I might add. Anyway, okay. So, we're just farming away. It is like, we're clearly behind, right? It's like nearly 13 minutes, we have boots done and 500 gold and like a magic wand and a null. Silence is actually a good example of here that can go double null quite easily and effectively. Kind of like, we see it a lot from Quap, or from even some Invokers. And OD is also another good double null hero as an example. It's basically these mids that either have really strong right-click capabilities like Quap, or that don't need bottle, like Invoker or like OD. So and Silencer fits into that. Like, I think you could have gone double null on Silencer and been good. Your lane's getting pressured right here, so the class thing is alright. If mid lane is getting taken, you either need to react and fend them off, or you need to go somewhere else and pressure. And obviously that's what we're doing on top. We used this to push. We used Warlock Golem to push, which I disagree with. I think you guys would have been able to take this anyway without consuming Golem. But, you know, whatever makes the donuts. Okay. Bristleback's coming in, and he should just run straight at this. Oh, this is very scary, though. Man, you guys are going to get ravaged by this ability that's not called Ravage. Oh. So you should be able to get int from him. Okay, that's good. We've stolen 4 int. Oh man, Bristleback's going to clean up, though. He does not have a TP scroll, so this is somewhat dangerous. Doug can't get him rather. Okay, this is a little greedy. Use your shrine yourself, but you know, teach their own. You didn't use it earlier, so let's just call it even. So 4-step first is the common build for good reason, right? It's good. You just rush a Hurricane Pike. Again, I like Midas, but you honestly did not have the like economy to build a Midas efficiently. Well, let's see, what did you choose? 4 armor. Oh, the 7 int. I think the armor is the right call in this game. Like, you're gonna build into anyway, but you don't build armor until you build like a Shiva's. So it is nice to have the armor against Juggernaut, and against Vengeful Spirit, and against Razor, and against Wraith King. Unfortunately, we did not have a TP, so we did not TP up here. We are instead farming. I've heard that the new Atos is pretty good on Silencer also. Personally, I kind of don't believe it, but I honestly haven't tried it. Should be denying these just for the XP. That's unfortunate. It is hard to gauge those catapults. But yeah, denies, like, it used to be bad to deny, not bad. Sometimes it was bad, but a lot of people just didn't bother denying if nobody was in their lane. Prior to, 7.0, that introduced the denying, the positive, basically, XP rewards for denying. But nowadays, you know, you just may as well be denying. It's just XP you're leaving on the table. Everything's going for Echo Saber. Okay. Coming in here just to reap the rewards, get that int. And actually, getting int from a hero like Wraith King is actually a huge boon to the team. Right? Like, it sucks to lose int if you're a strength hero with low int. Like, if you're playing Bristleback and you die like 5 times to a silencer, suddenly, you know, you have 130 less mana. And, right? That's how it is. $885 mana. Yeah, it's 12.5. Okay. No, that's not how that works. I don't care to do math. But, you know, you having 120 or 130 less mana on a Wraith King, you know, that's one less Wraithfire Blast, right? That means you're that much more susceptible to dying without reincarnation up. Now, that stuff adds up quickly. Okay, we don't have Golem here. It's a nice Ricky ult. Okay, we'll run down this guy. We do have no mana, which is unfortunate. Are you gaining int from this? No, you're too far away. Oh, come on, Ra, you'll be fine. Oh, don't run away. You're not gonna get in. So you need to be like focusing on getting in. It's like a weird meta game, right? It's kind of like Bloodstone charges, where it's like, all right, I need to be close enough to get these Bloodstone charges, but I'm just not, and so I'm just like leaving int on the table. This Bristleback is really just like your whole team. Yeah, like that's at least 4 ints that you could have gotten and stolen, I should point out. Like not just getting in, but you're stealing in. That's like 4 int that you could have that you now do not have. And like, yeah, you lived, and that's all good, but you still, like, you could have lived, chased that guy. Like, we know he's already used Blade Fury. We know he's already used ult. He cannot get to us. He can only try to get away from us, which means, and like we know his friends are also all nearly dead or are dead. So there's like no risk, only reward. Or very minimal risk, I should say. Like the minimal risk is like, oh well, Razor used this shrine, you chase too far, and then you get ulted, and I mean then you get the ring, plasma fielded to death. And it's like, yeah, that sucks, but you know, I would say take that risk because you want int, like you want as much int as possible as early as possible. Okay, good. We're stealing that int. 4 int right there. All right. Taking damage, but we're getting in, and that's what's important. So 6 int right there. Golden. So we're going straight Hurricane Pike. That's smart. That's what I do. I think that's really, unless you're getting a Midas in between, or like first. I think like Null, Wand, maybe either another Null, then you get Treads, then you just go Hurricane Pike. These heroes that build Hurricane Pike, it is so slot efficient that I feel even better about buying like a second Null Talisman or a small item like a Windlace, because I know while building it, can just keep it in my backpack, and then eventually I'm going to conduce. What's that word? I'm going to. Gosh, this is going to bother me for the rest of this video. Conduce. I don't know. You're going to die here. No, you're not. You're fine. You're going to be knocking down so many larger, like, slot-consuming items into a small, into one thing. We're getting kited a little. Yikes. Yeah, we just don't have mana to deal with this. Man, Razor's a good hero. Echo Saber's up on Wraith King. Like, they can totally kill you at this moment. Like, if they burst you, or rather, they have burst capabilities, and you guys don't have a lot of things to save since you don't have stuns. Like, yeah, just as long as you react quickly, you can just force stuff out of it, but it is fairly dangerous. Oh man. Okay, you didn't need to wait that whole time. Right now, if you force staff, you can curse him and then ult him. I mean, then last word him. Right, nice, free int. And Warlock didn't even die. Classic crazy dive. Okay. And we don't really have mana regen, which is unfortunate. Like, we have mana boots from one hero, but that's it. Which is unfortunate. Because, like, we've been low mana basically this entire game. Okay, I'm really glad you're moving your items out of your inventory. That's very smart. Yeah, Silencer uses so much mana, but doesn't build mana regen items until like Scythe or like Bloodthorn, that I do frequently just like you use all your mana and then you just go back to base like after a fight. Okay. Okay, good. Nice. Yeah, why did you try to fight that? Good, just ran away. Alright, so that was perfect. When we're getting more int. Oh man, another round of int that we'll get. Alright, that's like the most game-winning, like, small engagement. Like, we killed all of them, we lost our Ricky, and that's it. Oh, we didn't kill Lich, okay, so... Or actually, we did kill Lich, and he just respawned, I think. Regardless, that was perfect. And, like, we stole, what, 10 int off of that fight, right? 5 kills, 10 int. That's perfect. After this item, I would probably go... Let's see, you're going Lincoln's? Okay. I like Lincoln's. I think Lincoln's is very responsible. Like, I wouldn't build... I mean... Yeah, I probably wouldn't build BKB this game. So I do like Lincoln's for that. Oh boy. Again, we have like no mana, which is very scary. Yeah, okay. We still have our force staff up. Oh man, okay. So you'll get way further if you don't do what you just did. You should have, like, okay, when you were here, you could have Hurricane Pike down in this hill, or you could have run to here and then Hurricane Pike that way, or run over here. Then they're going to chase you into this little inlet, and then you just go through there. You know, you have a lot of options that are not that. That was not the right call. I honestly almost never use the active, you know, offensive version of Hurricane Pike. Because it is just, you don't go as far, you need vision, like it's... Also, you have turn rate involved, it's all very messy. So yeah, well, don't do that again. Like, Hurricane Pike as a defensive item, or Force Staff as a defensive item, is much more about abusing terrain than it is about just distance. Right? Like, if you are either catching up to somebody or going away from somebody, if you're going over a terrain, you know, that's a disadvantage they have to deal with, but it's just a thing that you can ignore completely. Right, like if you're getting away from this path, they then have to run all the way around. Even if they don't follow you into here, they have to run all the way around. And if they do follow you, then they have to run all the way, you know, back through and, you know, yada yada. That was just suicide mission. I don't know what the heck Venge's doing. He didn't even have wards on him. You know, thinking about this, like, if you did want to go for, you know, a Lincoln's, or even assuming you're going to go sheep, you could just buy a Void Stone pretty early and then just have it on you for a while. And that would have solved, or not solved, but it would have helped with your mana problems. Of course, you are so high int that the plus 100% mana regen really does add up compared to some lower int heroes that would be like, yeah, I just want raindrops. Lord Day's doing well too. Man, at this point, this enemy team, see, oh man. At this point, you guys don't have stuns, which is why one of the reasons that didn't work. At this point, you guys are really steadily ahead, right? It's only a 2k net worth advantage, but itemization-wise, you guys have a bunch of really effective items. Like you have a Diffusal Blade here, you have a Pipe and a Vanguard on this guy. Ricky has a Diffusal Blade, right? You now have your core item, your Hurricane Pike. Whereas on the Radiant, like, yeah, Razor has Saint Yasha Vanguard, but the support only has a Medallion. This guy, he's a Shadow Blade and an Echo Saber, which means he's not good at sustained fighting, which all of your fights are sustained fighting. Warlock has a Force Staff ready. Like, you guys have a bunch of really effective items. Like, Venge has nothing. She's Aki, which is ineffective because she's doubling up with this Aki and all that.
Take that as tribute.
And Razor's building a Shadow Blade also. Alright, you guys trying to make a smoke play? So this is a really obvious smoke play because you guys dewarded and then smoked. One of the things that I think is very smart is that if you see like, oh hey, they smoked, also you want to lead. Well, you don't really have anybody to lead with. Honestly, you could just ult here. Oh boy, that was close. Alright, free int. That was smart from the Razor. He's gonna die here, so it's not that smart. But that was a nice, like, cute little play. So we're working on Lincoln's. Think Atos would also be good here. Sheep would be good here. Shivas is gonna be very strong here. Bloodthorn is always good. But I don't know if I'd necessarily build it in this game, because they do, you know, he's going to build a Manta, presumably. Maybe not, actually. Maybe he won't build a Manta. But I do like Bloodthorn, just as a general statement. That was kind of a waste of mana. Okay, this is very good zoning from Joe Blender on the Warlock. As far as the Radiant team, the only initiation they have is Vengeful Spirit, and that's pretty inconsistent initiation. Oh my god. This guy, you could... Oh, you don't have Force Staff up. Let's see. Oh yeah, he'll live. Ooh, yeah, he'll live. Man, this Razor's just really intent on running in and dying places. Okay, so you are going Orchid next. I think it's a fine pick. Personally, I don't think it's as good an item in this game as it is in other games, but it's always a good item on Silencer. Okay. Now we're in good Roche position. Like, we can take this top tower and then just go Roche. Then you put Roche on, or Aegis on Bristleback, and he just front lines, and like, you guys are unstoppable. Okay. It's a little late, but that's okay. And he'll die. You like force yourself into your friends. Like if that didn't connect right then, you guys are just gonna kill each other, or you were gonna kill them. Actually, I probably wouldn't have died, but maybe. Who knows? You guys can just high ground here. Like, you guys have Golem up. They don't have their primary core. I like the split push play. We're really just kind of like running around. I don't know. I feel like we should have committed earlier rather than later. Oh, that was a good ult. Where are we? We ran away for some ungodly reason. Just missing out. Look at all that int we could have gotten. 4. Alright, yeah, this is like the death knell of the Radiant. They are boned. Alright, that was a great, weird, like, they initiated for you, and then you counter-initiated with Warlock ult, and that was perfect. And, like, their team comp is okay at dealing with Megas, but not great, but their itemization, other than the Juggernaut, is really weak when it comes to dealing with Megas. It is very good that you guys had all 3 lanes pushing in at once, and that gave you opportunities. Like, you went top and it didn't work out, so you go mid, and then you go top, or then you go bottom, and eventually it all kind of pans out. Oh, Risen Day, you're gonna die. Yeah. It's alright, he's playing a distraction game. Alright, easy in. Personally, I would have slapped this a couple times just to be greedy, but you did the safe thing and did not do that. So now you're gonna take shrines and then take Aegis. Smart, makes sense. All 3 of you pass by this bounty rune. I assume you're like saving for buyback. No, you're not. Well, you probably, yeah, you have buyback. Okay, so yeah, personally, I don't think we need to take this because we have a ton of ward coverage, and we could just go Roche immediately. Alternatively, we could just wait and take the other one, and farm a little, and then go Roche. Either way, like, you're still getting Roche, right? The Radiant team really can't deal with you guys Roshing. They had, just their itemization is weak. Like, they built a bunch of Shadow Blades. Like, they don't need Shadow Blades in this game. Okay, so we have our Lincolns. We could have sold our Null at the secret shop and then brought out a Mystic, an Orchid half, the heck are these things called? Oblivion Staff. But we didn't. That's really negligible. Like, you're gonna have buyback now, so it's fine. Okay. Man, this is just lunacy. Wow, never mind. See if, oh boy, what an ult. Alright, oh, use your, yeah, nice. Oh, see, terrain, exactly what we talked about. Terrain is the key advantage. Oh, you're gonna die, though. Oh, no, just kidding. Oh, my God. Lincoln Sphere, everybody. Lincoln Sphere. See, this is what we talk about. Like, their team was built to, like, burst people and kill people, and then, like, the prolonged fight is mediocre. Whereas your team is built off of, like, really strong prolonged fight. And so they, like, in that fight, exactly, they tried to burst down the Bristleback. It didn't work. Then he got out, and then did tons and tons of damage, and then they're all dead. Whereas your team you don't need to burst people. Like, you can just prolong these fights and play it out. This Juggernaut build's really weak, honestly. I feel like just the Maelstrom into Mjolnir would be enough to deal with this PL. Like, I mean, I have a soft spot in my heart for Bristleback. I mean, for Juggernaut with Battle Fury, but I just don't feel like this is the way to do it. I don't know why you're so far back. Your team was like, hey, let's push, and you just didn't. Not that it makes a tremendous difference. Like, yeah, you were low, but, you know. Boy, PL Gaming. Okay, alright, so I assume the game is going to end, like, here. I mean, it has basically ended already. But, again, like, we talked about this in the draft, right? Your guys' team comp was very just, like, run at them, prolonged fights, make it work. And that's how you guys won, right? You guys won every fight where it just, like, well, you guys just waited it out, and it was slow, and you killed them eventually. Whereas, you know, the few fights you lost, you either super outnumbered or you just got bursted. So I would say, as much as like I like the Radiant team comp because it's very like soft and secure, just secure. I don't know if I'd say it's soft. Alt Norday. They just didn't play it well enough, and they didn't deal with the fact that you guys just literally just ran at people like repeatedly, like literally every fight. You guys just chasing people down with, you know, diffusal blade charges and bristleback being fast and annoying and PL and silencer slows. Like, you guys have a lot of slows, and like they could have outdone you if they just had, you know, if they had a hero that really benefited from your guys' lack of CC. That would have changed the game. Like if they had an Ember Spirit or a Tinker, that would have made the difference. Whereas, you know, they didn't have that, right? Juggernaut, sure, like you want to CC a Juggernaut, you want to CC a Razor, but even those, you know, they don't benefit in the same sense that somebody like an Ember Spirit does, or like a Storm Spirit does. So yeah, a solid game. Like, you guys played it well. You guys had a very clear game plan. It was very like, right, we're gonna run at people. We're gonna sustain pushes. That's what we're gonna do. So yeah, solid. Thanks for your support, of course, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.